NBC7's Nightly Check-In is sponsored by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating and Air, Flood and Restoration.
We know how.
The game plan on how to reopen San Diego Unified campuses is out, including what conditions need to be met for safe in-person instruction. And as you can imagine, we're still a long way from that happening. Thanks for joining us for the Nightly Check-In. I'm Bridget Naso. School is slated to begin with online learning on August 31st and not in-person instruction. Board Vice President Richard Barrera says it could still be months from that happening. He said it would happen in waves, with younger students returning first. Masks would be mandatory, along with strict social distancing. And San Diego County would have to report fewer than 7 community outbreaks in the previous week, and then less than 100 infections for every 100,000 residents over the previous 2 weeks.
Certainly begin with thinking about who are the students that are most in need of being, in person. And then from a health standpoint, younger students first as you move to older students. But even with an elementary school, you shouldn't just bring 500 students back on campus all at once. You should do it in stages. Maybe start with less than 25% of the students in a school.
Barrera says, again, all students, even little ones, would be required to wear masks. San Diego's case rate is now the closest it's been to meeting the state's critical threshold since the county was put on the governor's watch list. The county is now down to a 2-week average of about 101 cases per 100,000 people. If this number goes below 100 for 3 straight days, San Diego could get off the state's watch list and more restrictions could potentially be removed. In terms of today's numbers, 228 new cases were reported for a total now of 32,975 cases. A San Diego State University student is sharing his family's battle with COVID-19. His whole family was infected with the virus, and his father is fighting for his life in the ICU right now.
He said that, it couldn't be the virus, probably just a cold, the flu. But, we were all worried. His symptoms were, he was coughing, he had headache, body ache.
Noe Sandoval is a third-year student at SDSU. He says his entire household tested positive for COVID-19. His father had the worst of it, currently in the ICU for the last 12 days. Noe and his mother are currently experiencing fevers, body aches, and fatigue, while his 21-year-old brother is asymptomatic. Noe says that his sister is working 2 jobs while the rest of the family recovers. The Sandoval family has a GoFundMe page set up. We have a link on our website, NBC7.com. A new study is showing which face coverings are most effective at stopping the spread of respiratory droplets. Researchers at Duke University compared 14 commonly available masks and face coverings and tested them 10 times each. The best face coverings were N95 masks without valves, followed by surgical masks and cotton masks, including homemade ones. The least effective were neck fleeces or gaiter masks and folded bandanas. Governor Gavin Newsom says California can't afford President Donald Trump's unemployment plan. Over the weekend, the president signed an executive order extending unemployment payments of that $400 per week, but the $400 week requires states to provide 100 of those dollars. Governor Newsom said that's money we just don't have. California has already spent 75% of the CARES Act funding. The plan would cost the state $700 million a week as well. San Diego's Registrar of Voters is sending out postcards this week to let us know when to expect mail-in ballots for the 2020 election. The change is, of course, to prevent the spread of COVID-19. If you do need to vote in person, very limited polling places will be open for 4 days from October 31st to November 3rd. Otherwise, keep an eye out for your ballot and other materials from the registrar over the next few weeks. Starting the week off with a heating trend. Dagmar Midcap joins us next with your first alert weather forecast.
NBC7's Nightly Check-In is sponsored by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating and Air, Flood and Restoration.
Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE. Bill Howe. We know how.
Time for a new water heater? Call Bill Howe, San Diego's most trusted plumber since 1980. So whether you are looking at a traditional tank or a tankless water heater, you know who to call.
Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE. Bill Howe. Because we know how.
Looking at your Tuesday, you will end up feeling a little bit of a warm-up now. We continue into a warm-up that'll take us 2-3 degrees above seasonal norms. So by the time you do get to your Tuesday high, you'll be in the mid to the upper 70s. Under those partly cloudy skies along the coastal zones, inland valleys, you will end up seeing the mid to the upper 80s now. So definitely a warm-up for you. Mountains, you will end up seeing that mid to upper 80 range as well. So you'll be kind of neck and neck with what you'll be feeling in the inland valleys. You'll also be feeling that heat beginning to build in through the deserts again. So instead of that 1, 2, and 3 mark, you're now looking at 108, 9, 11, and 12 for the desert. So the heat beginning to build in, but your Tuesday is looking pretty good.
New artists hit the streets of downtown. The new banners on Broadway display the words "All Black Lives Matter." The pieces presented by the Downtown Partnership just went up over the weekend. A local artist, Anthony Tyson, says he wanted to remind people that black lives of every age, gender preference, and past and future matter.
Going in the right direction. So maybe they could change their outlook and maybe change their idea and their views just a little bit. And as long as we could do a little bit, that's all that matters. That's all that counts.
Tyson says he used vibrant colors in his art to show that the issue isn't simply black and white. There are hundreds of animals across San Diego County in need of a forever home, so NBC7 and Telemundo 20 have teamed up to help clear the shelters. We're doing a month-long Adopt and Donate campaign. So this is Captain Hook. He's a Shar-Pei pit bull mix. Hook is almost 2 years old and weighs about 65 pounds. He's being cared for at the Rancho Coastal Humane Society, but is looking, of course, for his forever home. For more information, you can head to our community page, nbc7.com/community. And that is going to do it for our nightly check-in tonight. Have a great night. Take care of yourself.